Imagine a place so vast, it stretches across 9 nations. A living, breathing colossus that makes its own weather, cradles 1 out of every 10 known species on Earth, and pumps 20% of the world's oxygen into the atmosphere. This is the Amazon rainforest. This is not just a forest. It's a machine. A cathedral. A mystery. And perhaps, our last hope. Welcome to Amazon, the lungs of the earth. Spanning over 5.5 million square kilometers, roughly the size of a European Union, the Amazon is the largest rainforest on Earth. If it were a country, it would be the 6th largest in the world. Its mighty river, the Amazon, winds through over 6,400 kilometers, carrying more water than the next 7 largest rivers combined. But what truly makes the Amazon unique is its ability to shape its own environment. Through a process called evapotranspiration, trees draw water from the soil and release it as vapor, which rises into the atmosphere, forming clouds and rain. This cycle doesn't just water the forest, it waters countries. It maintains climate systems across South America and beyond. Every inch of the Amazon teems with life. In just 1 hectare of forest, you might find more tree species than in all of North America. Scientists estimate that 1 in 10 known species on Earth lives here, from insects and birds to mammals and plants. It's a place where predators and prey hide in plain sight, where colors are bright but survival is brutal. Imagine walking through a city with millions of residents, each one with a different language, job, and purpose. That's the Amazon. A metropolis of biodiversity. And yet, we know so little. Thousands of species remain undiscovered. The mammals of the Amazon are elusive, often heard more than seen. The jaguar, spotted and silent, rules the jungle like a ghost. With the most powerful bite of any big cat, it cracks skulls and disappears into the undergrowth. High in the canopy, howler monkeys call out in roars that can be heard from miles away, claiming territory in the treetops. And in the rivers, the unexpected, a dolphin. The Amazon River dolphin, or boto, blushes a pale pink. Some say it takes human form at night, luring villagers with stories and songs. These are mammals born of myths and moisture, evolution shaped by shadows and silence. Dawn breaks not with silence, but with song. Long before the sun filters through the emerald ceiling, the forest begins to hum, to whistle, to roar. These are the voices of the Amazon's birds, a chorus so loud, it can be heard miles away. With over 1,300 species of birds, the Amazon is one of the richest aviaries on Earth. From hummingbirds the size of a thumb, to eagles that rival wolves in power, this rainforest is a sanctuary of feathers, flight, and forgotten languages. At the very top of the canopy, where few animals dare to climb, rules the harpy eagle. With a wingspan stretching nearly 7 feet and talons as long as a grizzly bear's claws, this bird is a silent hunter, built for ambush. Its ghostly white face, black crest, and piercing stare have earned it a near-mythical reputation among indigenous tribes. Some believe it carries the spirits of ancestors. The harpy eagle is more than a predator. It's a symbol. A reminder of strength in silence, and of a forest that still has rulers of its own. If you slow your gaze, if you catch a flicker of motion at a flower's edge, you might find a hummingbird. Some no bigger than a coin. Others vibrant in emerald, sapphire, or ruby hues. They hover like helicopters, their wings beating up to 80 times per second. And despite their delicate appearance, hummingbirds are warriors, territorial and fierce, defending flower patches with acrobatic dives. They burn energy faster than any other bird on Earth, with heartbeats topping 1,200 beats per minute. To them, survival is speed. Life is lived in seconds. But their songs are fading. As deforestation pushes deeper into the jungle, birds lose more than nests, they lose their food, their migration paths, their mates. The silence grows. Some birds, once abundant, are now vanishing. Others may disappear before we even discover them. A world without birds is not just quieter. It's imbalanced. Birds are pollinators, seed spreaders, insect controllers. The engineers of future forests. The birds of the Amazon are more than just feathers in flight. They are timekeepers. Messengers. Architects of the canopy. To watch them soar is to glimpse what's at stake. To listen to their song is to hear the voice of the forest itself. And in that voice, perhaps, a plea for us to listen. Cold-blooded life thrives in the Amazon's damp corridors. Here, heat is life. Moisture is memory. And patience is power. These are creatures born of stillness. Masters of ambush, camouflage, and ancient instinct. In the murky backwaters, where the rivers braid through fallen logs and flooded trees, the green anaconda waits. At nearly 30 feet long, and weighing more than 500 pounds, it is the largest snake on Earth, not by length alone, but by mass. This isn't a creature that slithers, it glides, with a quiet certainty, like a living submarine. It doesn't need venom. It has patience. It coils with muscle and intention, wrapping around prey, capybara, caiman, even jaguars, and squeezing until the heart can beat no more. Its eyes and nostrils sit atop its head, letting it hide just beneath the surface. Invisible. Watching. The anaconda doesn't chase. It waits. And in the Amazon, waiting wins. A sudden flash of color on the forest floor, tiny, no bigger than a grape, but glowing in shades of blue, yellow, red, and green. These are the poison dart frogs, some of the most toxic creatures on the planet. One drop of their skin's alkaloid secretion is enough to kill 10 grown men. Indigenous tribes once used these secretions to coat the tips of blow darts, turning tiny frogs into weapons. But that color isn't for beauty, it's a warning. In nature, brightness often means danger. These frogs don't produce the poison themselves. Their toxins come from their diet, mainly ants and termites rich in alkaloid compounds. Remove them from the wild, and they lose their lethal power. Even poison, it seems, is rooted in ecology. And their call. A high-pitched trill, almost imperceptible under the roar of the forest. But to mates and rivals, it's a song of survival. Beneath the mirror-still surface of the Amazon's oxbow lakes, something ancient stirs. It doesn't swim. It waits. A shadow in the water. A shape mistaken for driftwood. Until it moves. This is the black caiman, one of the Amazon's most elusive apex predators. A cousin of the American alligator, but darker, quieter, and more ancient. Growing over 16 feet in length, and weighing up to 1,000 pounds, it's not only one of the largest reptiles in South America, it is one of the most formidable. With armored scales that absorb light, glowing eyes that pierce the dark, and a presence that silences the air around it. The black caiman is not a hunter by pursuit. It is a predator by patience. This reptile has barely changed in over 60 million years. It was here long before humans. Long before the Amazon was even a rainforest. It watched continents drift, climates shift, species rise and fall. And yet, the black caiman endured. Its heavy body glides like silence itself. Just under the surface. Breathing through nostrils raised above the waterline. Eyes unblinking. Calculating. Yet the black caiman is more than a killer. It is a keystone, a guardian of balance. It keeps fish populations in check. Controls the numbers of frogs, snakes, and even invasive species. Without it, the ecosystem would tip. Unravel. Because every link in the chain is tied to another. Remove the caiman, and the web begins to collapse. Every scale, every fawn, every slither, is a story written in survival. In the Amazon, to exist as a cold-blooded creature is to be perfectly tuned to a world that never forgives mistakes. These animals are not villains. They are not monsters. They are guardians of the old order, living equations in nature's balance sheet. And if they disappear, we lose more than mystery. We lose the blueprint of how life adapted to thrive in Earth's wildest theater. Beneath the rivers and flooded forests, a new world begins. The Amazon is home to more than 3,000 freshwater fish species, more than any other river system on Earth. Among them, the piranha, feared but misunderstood, more scavenger than killer. The arapaima, a freshwater titan, grows longer than a man and breathes air like we do. And the electric eel, capable of delivering shocks that stun prey and predators. Its body is a living battery, honed by necessity. These waters are ancient. And in their silence swim the future of evolution. For every bird that sings or mammal that roars, there are millions of insects working quietly below. Some scientists estimate that the Amazon could host over 2.5 million insect species. And in 1 square kilometer, over 70,000 individual types. The leafcutter ant is a master farmer, carving pathways and carrying vegetation to grow underground fungus. The bullet ant delivers a sting ranked as the most painful of any insect. Some indigenous tribes even use it in manhood initiation rites. And the glass-winged butterfly, delicate and see-through, flutters like a living ghost between sunbeams. Insects pollinate, decompose, and wage silent wars underfoot. They are the engineers of the forest's invisible empire. Despite centuries of exploration, we have catalogued only a fraction of what's out there. Every year, scientists discover hundreds of new species, from tiny fungi to fluorescent frogs. Each one a reminder that the Amazon still holds secrets. But for every species we find, we may lose one more to chainsaws or flames, vanishing before we even knew its name. The Amazon is not just a forest. It is the greatest library of life ever written. A living, breathing archive, 5 million years in the making. Each tree, a volume. Each vine, a footnote. Every insect, every bird, every microscopic fungus, a paragraph in the grand story of evolution. This library has no shelves, no walls, no ceiling. It is open, wild, unpredictable, and overflowing with information. Hidden in every leaf is a genetic manuscript. In the movement of a troop of monkeys, the whisper of ancestral behavior. In the pigment of a butterfly's wing, millions of years of adaptation. Scientists believe that in a single hectare of Amazon rainforest, there may be more species of organisms than exist in all of Europe. But perhaps the most astounding truth is this. We've barely started reading. 90% of Amazonian plants have never been studied for their medicinal potential. Somewhere in this forest may lie the cure to diseases we haven't yet encountered. Enzymes that could clean polluted rivers, fungi that could decompose plastics, or compounds that could halt pandemics. Yet for every species we name, 10 more remain a mystery. We are not the authors of this library. We are merely visitors, late arrivals, fumbling through pages written in chlorophyll, feathers, and claw. The Amazon speaks in many dialects. In the chemical language of plants warning each other of danger. In the rhythmic calls of howler monkeys that echo across the canopy. In the silent march of leafcutter ants, carrying not just leaves, but civilization. These aren't just survival strategies. They are literature in motion. Epics of adaptation. Tragedies of extinction. Comedies of mimicry. And love stories told in bright plumage and elaborate dances. For the Amazon is not a place we conquer. It is a place we come to understand. And in doing so, perhaps we begin to understand ourselves.